So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to grab a water bucket, go down to the void with it. Oh! Ran out of blocks. This is going to take so much dirt. It will be worth, though. Once we have a full width farm, forget about it. Alright, so we hit the bottom. That was not a smart move. Oh! 1, 2, 3. This should be fine, actually. Right here. This is where we're making the farm. So that's going to give us about 6 minutes. I guess to start, we're just going to go like this. So yeah, this ain't bad. I think what we can, we're going to start and do row by row with pumpkins. So we're going to collect pumpkins from our pumpkin minions, start planting them down here. And then as we get more dirt, we'll just make more layers. So I'll be able to just run across and get a whole bunch of pumpkin out of it. This is my ultimate plan finally coming to fruition. We need cash money, and the way to do that is going to be with these pumpkins. And as an added bonus, we're going to get more farming levels, which means we get even more pumpkins because the chance for double is increased. And we get health. Remove those blocks from under there. Yeah, this is going to be really good. I mean, if you think about it, there's going to be 2 rows of pumpkins here, 2 rows of pumpkins there. We're already going to have 4 rows of pumpkin. Which, when you're this small of an island, this early on, it adds up real quick. And there it is. Alright, so that's all our dirt. That's probably like 1/10 of the entire thing. I'm not trying to get a day saver. It's not going to work. The mobs will still spawn because they'll be in a dark place during the night. Like, what happens when I build it to the point where it's underneath here? They'll still spawn mobs because it'll be dark during the day because of shade. Oh! A nether biome stick. Well, that requires 1,000 magma cream kills, which, might be a slight issue. Alright, there we go. We got those down. I think we gotta deal with this freaking water situation. It's getting pretty annoying. Huh, workarounds. There we go. ThirtyVirus, what's your sword? I have a Golem Sword. I bought it off the auction house for 50,000 coin because it had knockback on it and no one wanted to buy it. So, that was perfect for me. See, the cool thing is I'm a stats nerd. So, I looked up on the spreadsheet which weapons were best in this game in raw damage, and everybody goes straight to the aspect of the end. They go from the Ember Rod to the aspect of the end to Leaping Sword. Well, I did the research. The Golem Sword's like, it's just hiding there. It's a perfectly usable weapon, and it's like only 10 damage less than aspect of the end. It's like such an underappreciated weapon. The thing is, it's probably really expensive to craft on your own, which is why no one cares about it. But still, I found a little gem. I got my Golem Sword in a week with minions. Holy crap. So you're saying I got something really, really good for cheap in the auction house? That's pretty neat. And I got it fair and square. I didn't use my YouTube rank or anything. I just saw a bid on it while no one was looking on the stream, and then ironically I ended the stream and didn't check back for a whole day. So yeah, the Golem Sword's, I think, an underappreciated item. The problem is it's just too dang expensive. Gonna help our Let's Play out. I mean, that's exactly why you don't use the enchanting table directly on any tools, because you just get knockback on it and then it makes the sword worthless. That's probably why they were selling it, because they got knockback on it and they're like, God dang it. The Golem Sword I've been grinding for all this time has knockback on it. Now I gotta flip it on the market to regain my losses. And then you just have me, doesn't really care about knockback. It's just like, ooh, this sword does a decent amount of damage. Oops. Golem and aspect of the end are not the same, they're close. They're similar stats. I can probably get this Golem Sword to one-shot most Endermen. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I probably can. Even with minimal effort. I mean, all I have to do is basically, like, get crit every time, and maybe triple my damage. Which sounds like a lot, but in terms of SkyBlock damage multipliers, that's not a lot. When you're this low in damage, at least, it's not. What sword do I get after Aspect of the End? A lot of people would tell you Leaping Sword, but I looked at the stats, and the Leaping Sword isn't that big a jump. But the problem is the only thing you can really get that's better is an Aspect of the Dragons, which is ridiculously... Or a Pigman Sword, but both of them are ridiculously difficult to get. So I don't know. There is kind of a gap right now. Why am I placing slabs over the seeds? Because you're probably about to see that. Mobs trample crops. I actually was, I was watching Minecraft Monday, which, by the way, great performance.
I tried, but the items didn't fly.
Got hacked. As soon as it got hacked, everybody went to Hypixel, and I noticed that Technoblade, Wisp, Captain Sparkles, everybody went on Hypixel. So I was just like, I'll send a friend request Wisp's way, and he actually accepted it. What a guy. He was just like on stream, he was just like, hey, 30Virus friended me. But yeah, this is going to be great. The problem is, this isn't going to be like the YouTube co-op, you know, with me and Fezzy, because there's not going to be people like AFKing the island constantly, so I might need to AFK here so that all the pumpkins grow. But man, once all these pumpkins grow, that is going to be profits. Holy balls. I don't know if we should put it towards the minion first or just sell it for money. It's honestly a... Well, if we put it towards the minion upgrade, then we won't need to have him there, which would be convenient, I think. How are you going to move in between the lanes when you reach the block limit? I would probably just... I'll cap off the ends. To Curtinsville, thank you for the super chat again. Alright, good night. Keep it real. Best of luck. Hey, thanks, man. Hey, I'll always keep it real. Now, one thing, you guys better, you're hearing this, right? When things happen on YouTube, right? My situation is inevitably going to change. Probably for the better, but who knows? Maybe drama and stuff will make it worse. But in the future, you know, my situation is going to be different on YouTube. I want you guys to keep me real. If you notice I'm being, like, fake as hell, call me out on it, bro. Like, I want to be the realest YouTuber that there is, and not let the fame or whatever. It's not even fame. Let's be freaking honest. You're not famous if you're a YouTuber. Like, you're not even famous until you get, like, maybe 1 million subs. Maybe. But, like, up until then, no. YouTube is not famous. But you know what I mean. When you get to the point where you get, like, an ego or whatever, I don't know. I just don't want to become that. I want to still be me. I want to be real. I want to be, you know, legit. So yeah, if I start to not be, then make sure to say something, because I do not want to become that. I don't think water makes that... I don't know if water makes a difference, because it definitely works without it, because in the other co-op, I literally did a whole farm without water. But does water affect growth speed in Hypixel SkyBlock? I'm very curious if it does. It probably doesn't, but still, interested. Alright, now... Whoops. Just did that by accident. Oh! Ooh, almost fell in the void. There we go. So we got a couple rows done. Not bad. Not bad. Why do I have 2 shears in here? Just chuck those in there. Yeah, look at this. It's a humble beginning, but this is going to go from there all the way to there. All the way across the whole island is going to be pumpkin. And it's going to be incredible. But obviously, it's going to be a little while before I finish it, because we need, we're gonna need a lot of dirt. Any advice on becoming a YouTuber? I do have a how-to YouTube playlist on my channel, but I mean, I'm gonna be honest, a lot of the YouTube game is luck. I don't like to say things like that, but it really is. You have to have a combination of getting lucky and being good at what you do. You need both. It's a formula, right? You need to give yourself the chance to be noticed, and you have to be like, you have to have the luck to get noticed. And even then, like, maintaining a YouTube career is just as hard as getting one in the first place. But at least once you've gotten it, you can, like, you can see what works and what doesn't. Like, you get that immediate, like, you know, you get let known immediately what works and what doesn't. But it's still very, very stressful. Because that algorithm will drop you so fast if you do something it doesn't like. Whew! One day you're getting, like, 1,000 subs or 1,000 views a video, and the next you upload one thing that's bad, boom, 150 views. That was my life back in the day. It was crazy bad. I mean, even recently that happened. I was getting like 30,000 views a video. I uploaded one Bed Wars video, and it legit got 3,000. Like, literally 10% of the views, which, by the way, 3,000 views in the video is nothing to sneeze at, but still, like, we're talking in relative terms here. It literally, the algorithm ignored that video, like, completely. Like, literally 10% of the views that the videos before and after it got, and it's still sitting at 3,000 views right now. This Bed Wars video with me and Gamerboy, the Invisible Players Challenge. I don't understand what went wrong. It just, the video was just dead on arrival, and it was, like, irredeemable. I don't know. Which is why you guys should join the Discord, because if the algorithm ever does decide to drop me, at least I can ping you guys on the Discord when I upload, so you guys can still get notified then. Honestly, it's such a... Being a YouTuber is so anxiety-inducing. You never know when things are just going to go to crap. It just does. And it's honestly scary. Which is why I'm always so happy to be on stream and look at that and see there's literally almost 500 people here still. Even after hours of, you know, just doing the streamer thing. Which is far more than I ever got, like, literally a few weeks ago. It's just insane. What's the best armor set to get mid-game? Hardened Diamond is a good transition from beginner to mid-game. Going from mid-game to end-game, you would want Ender Armor. Are melon farms better than pumpkin? They each have their pluses and minuses. I personally prefer pumpkin farms over melon, but that's my preference, because with pumpkin it's easier to combine them and sell them, like, quickly, instead of having to, you know, combine things in inventory every 5 seconds. That's not fun. Do you think the Reaper Falchion sword will fit in that place after Aspect in the end, but before something like the AOTD or Pigman? Maybe. Maybe it would provide that much needed bridge between, like, mid-game weapons and end-game weapons. I don't know. I didn't do enough research on the new stuff. I'm hoping that once it finally does come out, I can, you know, do an in-depth on everything. That'd be nice. There we go. We upgraded them to tier 2 at least. Now, if I remember correctly, one of these we can get Smelting Touch on. I think that's Coal Collection. Let's put that on our pick. Block of coal and paper. Alright. Let's get a Smelting Touch book. Oop. Put it on our pickaxe. Is there anything else it needs? It could use fortune, but we don't have the ability to do that. Do you have a story behind your name? It's a really boring story. I wanted to get my name on Xbox Live, and the name was taken, and under the auto suggestions it was like ThirtyVirus, and I was like, okay, I'll take it. Little did I know Microsoft just chose my name for probably life. I don't see ThirtyVirus ever going away as a name. Isn't that weird? Like, I was like 11 years old, probably even younger. I was probably like 9, 8. And then the name ThirtyVirus popped up from a random name generator, and that's just what I've been calling myself for the past decade. Didn't think I'd have to come back here. I mean, oh yeah, coal as well. Once I get fortune on the pick, then I'm going to mine all the coal I can. And that's going to be helpful. Because then I'll get, like, more per block. Then we can make ourselves the enchanted charcoal to increase efficiency. Don't forget experience 3. That's also true. I'm guessing that's a lapis one, maybe? Probably. I think it was like 40 per slot for the next minion upgrade, so we might have to keep going. I just want to upgrade the minion storage so that while I'm like AFKing this thing overnight, I can, you know, take full advantage. Then again, it does have a super compactor. Yeah, I feel like I'm going for a really good strat with this island. I mean, we've already swapped out our minions twice. And each time we swapped out, we had like 3 or 4 minions at tier 5. So, I mean, we're doing really well with slots, I think. We're at some point going to need to do minions with, you know, spawning mobs. I've been avoiding those because they're annoying.